Good morning, nerds. It's that time again. Guys, how have you been doing?
Morning, doing well.
What's going on, man? As I'm sitting here doing all this stuff on air.
Yeah.
What's going on, bud?
Not too much. We're just here to talk about America's favorite conservationist hunter.
I like that, man.
Predator's a better name for it. We decided to vote.
All right. So yes, today we're going to talk about the film The Predator, as opposed to Predators, Predator 1, Predator 2, Predator
How to
versus...
Catch One?
Yeah, How to Catch a
How to
Predator.
Catch a Predator.
Yeah.
Which is actually the sequel. Which, we'll actually get to that, because that ending actually does kind of lead up to that.
It really does.
We'll get there.
Yeah,
We'll get there.
We'll get there.
But before we begin...
Sorry, spoilers.
Yeah.
Spoilers.
If you haven't seen The Predator and you don't want us to spoil it completely for you, punch out now. But if you don't care, or if you have seen it, please continue. Now, was there anything that's happened over the last 2 weeks that y'all two want to talk about before we get to the movie?
How about you hold on? Jansen, how are you doing this morning, man? Because Jason just skips over you all the time.
Oh, man, it's all good. I'm actually trying to... Y'all wanted to show the trailer behind y'all,
We
right?
want to show everything, man.
Yeah, sure.
Right.
Yeah.
Jason's going to start stripping in a minute.
Oh, no.
No. That's a lot of...
Too early?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, later. Later, folks.
Too soon.
Time to stay. Well,
we also
ironically,
have
that also
live
ties
audience.
into something I want to talk about a little bit later.
Okay.
I don't want to know about that, man. We got live audience today.
We
Yeah,
do.
We do.
We do.
Fantastic.
Yes. We have the homeless vagrant.
I was going to say,
that
coming
we
to you
picked
live
in.
from San Quentin.
Yeah. Hey, Bobby.
How you doing, man? Good to be free?
It's good to be free?
Yeah?
All right.
Nice.
Did the ink come off the fingers?
No.
Okay. It never does it?
Fresh.
Any new tats?
In places I can't show you.
Oh, so they're prison tats. All right.
Good. It's a way to get in there, man.
What's going on the last 2 weeks, guys? As that was mainly for us and nobody else?
I don't know, man. Just the normal grind, the daily stuff.
The normal grind?
Yeah.
Cool, man. Cool.
Yeah.
Jason?
Actually, there is something I want to talk about that's happened. However...
Because that's what I was talking about.
Okay, well, what I'm saying is it ties into that. But the probably thing is I want to talk about at the end of the show.
No, let's talk about it now.
All right.
Yeah, let's get it over with so that we can spend the rest of the show
On something that matters.
on the Predator.
Okay.
What's up?
Well, for those of our viewers who either don't follow us on Facebook, shame on you, or for those who perhaps haven't checked out
Okay,
Facebook.
see, I thought you were going someplace else, man. Never mind. We're good. So anyway,
For those of you who'd like to vote against Raymond and vote him off the island,
press 1 now.
Are we talking about the comic?
We
Yeah.
talking about the comic?
I was going to try and end it with the comic.
No,
and
let's
so we
just
jump-
get it out of the way.
Okay.
Let's do it now.
Yeah, man.
So,
All right.
if you're watching us live on Facebook, just scroll down a little bit.
We should really plan this before we start.
Should we start having
We should
show
start having
meetings?
show meetings.
I feel like we should have show meetings.
Sorry, Jason. Continue.
Are we interrupting you? We apologize.
No, you don't. You never
you're right.
apologize.
We don't ever apologize.
Anyway, all right. Long story short, Facebook. We go to Vagabond Nerds on Facebook.
That's some
Scroll
language
down.
you got there. Go ahead.
Anyway, we have 3 versions of the first episode of our new comic strip live. What we need for y'all to do is to go through, see which version you like, and vote for it. Voting ends by the Friday before our next show, so in 2 weeks. And whichever wins, that's the new style that we will use for our ongoing strip, which will have all kinds of adventures, like Sean ordering chicken, me stripping, Raymond getting beaten a lot.
That's actually true.
A lot. There'll be ninjas, maybe the occasional ostriches as well.
Why are there so many ostriches?
Why are there so many ostriches?
You'll have to
You'll
watch
have to
it.
tune in and
You'll have
read
to
to find out.
Yeah.
Because we don't want to just annoy you in one type of media. We want to do it in all types of media.
Well, I think people like to know what we're doing in our real lives.
Even
so
Jan-
we're putting
even-
out a
even
comic strip that
Jansen's
has
like-
nothing to do with it.
Even
Perfect.
Jansen's like, Jesus, nobody wants to know about you guys anymore.
Nobody cares. All right.
Anyway,
Well, so the comic will be good.
so yeah, that'll be fun.
But yeah.
Yeah.
So what? They're voting on the. Voting on this format, right?
Well,
Are they voting on the Google or the Facebook?
They're voting on the Facebook.
The
Okay,
Facebook.
that's good.
Okay.
And like I said, just type in there which version you like. There's gray and yellow, black and white, and then white
Yellow and white.
Yellow and white. Yeah.
Cool. All right.
So let us know which ones you like, and we'll move on from there.
caffeine surging through me, man. Let's go.
So okay, so we need to quickly address the Henry Cavill.
Man,
Just quickly.
Okay, I'll do this quickly.
Because look, first off, it's all rumor. Nobody's ever confirmed or denied anything, so it's still rumor. It's conjecture. It's BS. But given the last topic of the show, with how do you fix the DCE, we need to just quickly say something about it. So give us your opinion, Ray.
So DC came out. What was it? Late last week. The 12th.
I think it was September 12th.
Okay,
I think it might have been the 9th.
As always, well planned after our show.
Yep, of course.
And the rumor was, hey, Cavill's out.
Rumor was Cavill's out. Who gave us this rumor?
This was who was it? The Hollywood Reporter?
Yes.
Vanity, Hollywood Reporter, I think.
Okay.
Hey, talks broke down. He's bouncing, and we even posted
a
saying
source.
Yeah,
that's all it was. A source. Who knows?
So we're posting. And we're like, look, if true, because I don't want to say it's not.
Right.
I don't want to say it is. DC's really screwed the pooch again.
Yeah, especially if they have confirmed or they do confirm that Affleck's gone too.
So.
Yes.
You're building a strong cast. Let them build. But go ahead.
So then they come back and say, well, no one said that, and everyone's thinking, well, this is what was going on. This is actually what it is. Cavill gives the most roundabout rumor thing.
The random video.
Random tweet.
Superman coming up and then going down.
His agent was like, the cape's still in his closet.
Right.
Warner Brothers came back with probably the best response. We love Cavill.
We wish him the best.
And we wish him the best, but never said anything.
Right. Right.
My opinion on it, they went to have Cavill cameo in something.
Shazam.
Probably Shazam. Cavill said, sure, no problem. I would like some money. And they said, sure, we'll give you enough to go get a Starbucks coffee. Cavill said, no, I want 2 Starbucks coffee. And so
that's a lot of money, though.
That comes from one thing to another. All of a sudden, I think the agent goes, you know what? We're not going to do it for what you're offering. And I don't think you understand how important Cavill is. And Warner Brothers balked, said we could replace him. And someone goes, okay. And then hey man,
so that source leaks it.
Tell him the talks went bad and Cavill's out. And the next thing you know, it's like
talks went bad, Cavill's out.
DC is. Okay, so we know you need more money. I think this is completely just a money ploy.
You think it's a cash grab?
It's a cash grab. It's fine. Sometimes you got to go in and play that card. I hope he stays. I would like to think amongst the majority that actually like him. I know there's people that don't. That's fine, right? Like not everyone's gonna like him. So
not everybody's gonna like everybody.
Yeah,
of course.
So it's not my Superman, not my Batman. I don't care.
Yeah, right.
But I like him. So anyway, that was a whole debacle. We'll see where that leads. I have no clue.
Okay.
I want to talk about something interesting. I want to talk about To Catch a Predator.
How about we talk about The Predator?
Let's talk about The Predator.
Let's talk about The Predator.
Spoilers from here on out.
Yeah, so we're going to ruin the entire movie for you.
That's right.
All right, so first question is, did we like it?
Okay.
No, let's not all answer at once.
No, let's not. I was actually going to say, who wants to go first?
I know our 4th member of our group, Khalid, did not. Or rather, he appreciated Predator 1 and 2 better.
Okay.
I liked it. Let me start with this. I liked it. I have some nitpicks where we're going to get into. My biggest complaint of this entire movie is the moment that they used CGI, you could tell they were using CGI. It was poorly done on the CGI. I don't know who was asleep at that wheel when they did the CGI. It was bad.
Is it as bad as a Superman beard wipe? Or
actually, it was a little worse than the Superman beard wipe.
I don't know if I'd say worse, but it was bad.
I think it was worse.
It was bad.
Let's say it's at least on an equal plane at the very least.
At the very least, it's just as bad.
Yeah.
I feel it was worse.
Okay. Right.
Sean? Or you know what? You're the one who's the Predator.
No. Okay. No. I'm going right. So initially, when I watched it, all right. I'll put it this way. I had fun watching the movie.
Yes.
I had fun watching the movie. I don't like the movie.
Really?
I do not like the movie.
See, and I was worried we weren't going to have enough variance, but here we are.
No, here we. Trust me. Look. There are points about the movie that are really good. There are some of the plot line is good. Like it has all these really great elements.
But the overall is less than the sum.
Yeah, well,
the whole is less than the sum of the parts.
Not that the overall or whole is less than the sum. They completely destroyed the entire premise of the Predators and their. eons long lifespan of. I mean, these guys have been around since the dinosaurs. They've got trophies hanging up in their ships of giant heads of things, and all of a sudden they decide to do what they're doing just because the planet's getting hot. I'm sorry, I've got a whole big thing that I'm upset about it.
That one part actually bugged the crap out of me.
Okay, but anyways, what did you think of the movie? Did you like it?
I liked the movie. Now, what I will say is this: I had a lot of fun watching it, but I think it's because I wasn't expecting as much out of it. I will say this: I liked Predator. I liked Predators better.
Predators I liked much better.
Rodriguez's.
Yes, it was much better. Well, it wasn't just Rodriguez. I mean, it was part of his script and Nimrod.
I think so. Directed.
Nimrod Antal or something was
something like that. I couldn't tell you. Anyway, but here's the thing, though, and I think the reason I had to think through it a little bit because I think one of the reasons I was like, well, am I really enjoying this as much as it tried to do what Aliens did, right? Because Alien is a straight up pure science fiction horror film. Aliens is a war film. And the simple fact of the matter is, I think Shane Black looked at this and said, hey, we know, there is no mystery to the Predator anymore, right? In the first movie...
Actually, that's not true. There's tons, but keep going.
I'm saying what the thought process behind it.
Sure.
Don't upset him.
I'm sorry.
Good Lord, man.
Sorry. Look, you've like I said, you've got your Batman, you've got your Spider-Man. I have my Predator.
Yeah.
Keep going.
All I'm saying is, I think what he was trying to do was convert the series from the standard,
horror genre
into something new. Because let's face it, we've seen that movie a bunch before.
All right. So something I feel though about in contrast to that is that's what made the first movie unique. It wasn't just a horror film. It was not a purely horror film. It was a science fiction horror genre, which is what Aliens was as well. An Alien, right? Alien was a science fiction horror film because there had not really been one. I mean, The Thing, right? Yeah. Like that whole kind of idea. And there's some other
greatness.
There's some other really good ones out there, but there hadn't really been something like this when Alien came out.
No, absolutely.
And the same for the Predator, or just Predator. I'm sorry, for the original 1987 movie with Arnold. It did not happen. So when that happened, it's not a pure horror film. It is a struggle between prey and predator, and it's a trophy hunt, and it's interesting. The concept is there's something out there hunting us for sport. No one had ever really done something like that before. To my knowledge.
Absolutely. No, I agree.
And I watched it as a kid, and I wasn't scared of it. It did not freak me out. It didn't make me scared. Like, I don't like horror flicks. Just because they don't resonate with me or they resonate too much with me.
Yeah.
But I don't go to watch a horror film like, The Conjuring or The Nun or something like that.
But I would argue those are a different type of horror film. I think it's.
Well, I think if you're going to go down and categorize it into subcategories, then sure, we can go that far, and you could still say that Predator is a horror genre. But I disagree.
It's sci-fi.
It's Predator. It's sci-fi.
It's sci-fi. It's all sci-fi.
To me, it's not horror.
I think he's right. There were in the very first one there were horror elements. Yeah. But that was it. It was a sci-fi flick. It had jump scares, intentional jump scares at first. That doesn't classify it as to me, it doesn't classify it as a horror film. Here's the thing.
What's the least favorite thing about this film?
It's the CGI for me. I mean, hands down, the CGI. The last scene where they're fighting, and it was just horrific, man. I mean, it was like someone was just like, let's just throw this away.
When McKenna and Olivia Munn are fighting him? Is that what you're talking about?
No, from the start, from when the ship starts to leave.
Well, you said the last scene.
Yeah,
so
from when the ship starts to leave to the part where they're fighting the Predator, the 11-foot Predator.
Dog-legged, 11-foot Predator.
It just, no. I mean, the CGI just fell apart. And I'm like, this movie thrives on practical effects. Don't take it away. You're
right. It is a franchise that's really been built on practical effects.
And so I'm like, doggone it, man. And here's the thing. I like the movie. Laughed out loud a couple times.
So did I.
I mean, they had some... Shane Black had great jokes. Shane... I'm going to use sexual offenders in my script. Black had some great jokes that were thrown into the movie.
Let's not vilify.
We'll get to that because I do want to touch on it for one particular reason.
All right. Go ahead.
So apparently we weren't kidding about To Catch a Predator.
No, because I do have a problem. I do have a problem with how it kind of played out.
But anyways, movie.
But the movie itself, though, I I think it's true. I had fun. I think it's a group movie. I think you go with people, you go with friends, you kind of laugh at it.
I can see that, but and it's not the movie itself had a group of characters in it, and it had a group in the movie, which helped to move it along a lot.
I'll tell you what it felt like, and I know I'm probably going to get flack for this, and I don't mean this as a slam. No, I do.
Felt like The Notebook when you saw it?
No, it felt like the poor man's Suicide Squad, and that's saying something.
Huh. That is interesting.
That is saying something. But it absolutely felt like the poor man's Suicide Squad. Down to the...
I hadn't considered that, but you have a good parallel.
Yeah, I was thinking about them like, that's a
really good parallel.
I wanted to... and I did like it. Like I said, I liked the movie. But there's problems with it, man. It earned a C+ rating overall for the cinema score, and I think it earned
it. Yeah, I agree.
They said it bombed financially at the opening box office. So.
And I think it earned every right of that. I mean, because I'm like, that's not something I'm going to go see back at the theater again. I mean, it's just not. That is a good. Hey, Netflix is on. That's about as much as I'm going to go and do.
Yeah.
Whereas with Predators, the last entry that we had.
Oh, I get out.
I love that movie. I still watch it.
I would say I've got
I was about to say
Blu-ray and put it in the Blu-ray player to watch the movie.
Wow,
because
that's pretty antiquated.
But it's
that goes a long way for me because I never do that. I own the movies to collect them. I don't do anything else with that.
But yeah, it was not. Again, I liked it. I think it's funny, but and I'll tell you what. So let's walk through. So the first time we get into this movie, it's the same setup. They're doing something military driven with the cartels.
Yeah, it's even in Colombia.
Hold on a second here. Look, it actually goes a little bit further than that. If you back it up with the initial space battle of the two spaceships, the rogue Predator escaping and the one chasing it.
Right.
Which was, again, a nice homage back to the first Predator because it starts out with the ship coming in and the escape pod jettisoning off while the ship flies out, so that he can land in the jungle and do his hunt, right? And I thought the CGI in that point was fantastic.
Was great.
Yeah.
That was really cool.
Yeah,
I liked
the spaceships
seeing
were fine.
The spaceship jump away from the other one to get to Earth and then crash land. I thought that was cool. But you're right. They crash land in the midst of a hostage situation with Quinn McKenna the sniper, which is Boyd Holbrook. Holbrook. Yeah. Boyd Holbrook as the character, which
from Logan.
I think he did a really good job as him.
Yeah.
I think he put on he acted well. There was. The movie's not bad because of any... for me, the movie's not bad because of any type of acting. The movie's not bad because of any type of... This character was too much, or this thing was horrible. The movie's...
script.
No. The script itself was fine up until the point where... All right, so predators have always been hunters, right? They come here, they hunt us. That's what they do.
Sounds more like a sportsman.
Now we're going with Predator. We took a vote. It's more cooler. Yeah, he's like, F yeah. Everyone's... And that part was kind of funny, but also kind of stupid that they did that. I'm like, okay, I don't understand
It was very
Shane Black.
Yeah, and it was very meta.
It was very meta.
Very meta,
exactly.
yeah.
But besides that, what they've done is, in this one, they decided to say, okay, right, so the millennia that the Predators have existed, from what we can tell from what their trophies, from the trophies that we've seen throughout the movies, right, as a spacefaring, advanced technological society.
Which this movie does recognize.
It does recognize.
Very
clearly recognizes that. It says they've been here in 87, they were here again in 97 or whatever it was.
97,
They recognize the films.
Yeah.
But what they then go to say is, and now all of a sudden these predators have been collecting our spinal fluid to inject in themselves because they're, geneticists at heart.
Yeah.
No. Absolutely effing no. Hell no. Like, that bugs the crap out of me.
I'm just curious, is that a no?
It's a no.
That's a no.
That's a no.
Well, okay. I don't disagree. I really don't.
Well, that's fine.
Great,
you don't have to.
No.
But it ruins the entire history of the Predators. Why now? And the reason given for them doing this whole thing, right, is they want to be bigger, better, badder Predators.
Which I can even understand.
I can't. It goes against it goes against every single thing that their culture recognizes as a species. So they want to go toe to toe with the baddest and the hardest thing in the galaxy. And if they die, they die. If they win, that's a test of their strength.
Yeah, it's basically saying
that is not. They are a warrior caste society, and just going, I'm going to genetically enhance myself to be bigger, badder. If anything, the genetic predator should have been the rogue predator in this. Yeah. That would have changed the entire thing. Have him show up on Earth. He's escaping. He's killing people. There's a whole faction of other predators out there that are doing this whole thing. What?
Brian online goes,
Yeah.
they're called predators, not scientists.
Yeah. Yes.
Yes.
Thank you. Although I will say, Brian, they've got some badass technology.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
really
they have
do,
to
man.
be pretty advanced.
They're advanced in a way, but that's the thing is they still take it down to that base primal urge, that instinct to go out and test themselves against something. If evolution occurs and they grow and it happens naturally, I think that's one thing. But what they've done here is they've basically said, okay, let's take the same thing and just Air Jordan the shit out of this. Let's pump it up. And that's what they did. They made the character bigger and badder by going, what should we do? I know what we need to do. Let's stick it in the head with a needle. And then that's all you did.
Let's hybridize it with all these other things.
There's nothing scary or new or different about the fact that all you've done is made it taller, and now it can generate its own exoskeleton inside itself, and you've effectively nullified any type of weapon against it.
Yeah.
That's all it did. That's
You made it too big and too bad, and there's no longer a fight for
countless sequels
survival.
that do this exact same thing.
Well,
And
I
they
don't
don't pay off.
I don't mind it being on quote unquote accident. In the Alien versus Predator series that we got, that's one thing I did agree with. Of course it would impregnate a predator.
Agreed.
That-
Right.
No,
That's a natural occurrence for the character.
That would have been an
arcs.
evolution that was very interesting. And
Right.
I've always, reading all the comic books, that's something that I've always been waiting to say, when is this going to happen?
Yeah.
And there were some Alien crossovers where they were trying to do that, but I mean,
Right.
you know, it never happened in the films. And that's fine.
But this one, the Predator, and to be fair, it doesn't get to that.
We don't have to
It
be
doesn't.
fair.
Yeah, it doesn't
No.
get to that point in the movie until almost that last arc. That's what starts the third arc of this movie. Is, oh my gosh, they're trying to do this. Now
I would say, no, that's
they
the
hint
halfway.
at-
No, that's the halfway point.
They hint at it with the fact that is that human DNA that they're splicing with, or
That's
stuff like
but that's
that.
not the halfway point. You got to remember how fast the beginning of this movie moves.
That's true.
As
Yeah.
soon, okay, it's like that's the one thing I got to say about this. This is one of the reasons I had fun with the movie, despite my abhorrence
Yes.
for where they decided to go with the plot line. The movie itself, the pacing is on point,
Yeah.
dude. It moves. It never has a moment. Even the spots when there's no action and the actors are interacting with one another,
They're making you laugh.
They're
Yeah.
making you laugh.
Yeah.
They're having a good time. You're actually developing some characters.
Yeah.
The whole scene where they introduce Group 2
Yeah.
in the bus as all, you know, which by the way, the cast,
Amazing.
I mean, the characters,
Yeah.
Trevante Rhodes, Olivia Munn, Sterling K. Brown as the bad guy, Thomas Jane, fantastic, and then Keegan-Michael Key. His character and Thomas Jane, the way they interacted
Yes.
together, I
They were
never
great.
would have thought those two would have been actually good together.
And-
And the chemistry was fantastic.
Jason had a good point about it too. It was like if this was any other movie than Predator, the scene where, because let's be honest, it's a Predator movie. You have red shirts throughout.
Yo,
this entire
you always
Yeah.
have red shirts. Yeah.
I did like that they kept the red shirts
Until
around
the end.
until the very end.
Very
Yeah.
end. They did.
Group 2, everyone stays in this film until the end, which I think it means their deaths mean more.
Because they built the characters
Because they built the
together.
characters up. And so,
that
yeah.
harkens back to the first one.
Right.
I mean, you lose at about the 30-minute waypoint in Predator with Arnold. You lose the Jesse Ventura. You lose him. He's the first one to go.
Yeah.
So that's about 30 minutes. But you haven't really invested anything in them. But they've had their banter, and that starts it. And
Yep.
from that point forward,
You get invested in the
you
characters.
start
Yeah.
getting invested in the characters, and they did that very well in this one.
And specifically for Keegan and Thomas's characters,
Oh, dude,
the
what
fact-
they went through.
Yeah, the fact that they had went through the war scenarios they went through before they got to quote unquote Group 2, which is basically a bunch of soldiers with PTSD.
There's what are they called?
Well,
Section 8 or Section
Yeah.
yeah,
yeah,
to that
something
point.
like that, where they're discharged due to mental issues.
Mental issues, and so, but they're still keeping
They're
them because
humans.
they're dangerous too.
Well, they're dangerous people, and they're humans. They're soldiers. You got to take care of them.
But that scene where the Predator doesn't kill both of them,
Right.
but they're going to die.
Yeah.
And they both realize that they're in pain, and they just look at each other and,
And
they
they
both
nod.
know.
They
Yeah.
nod.
They nod, and then they kill each other.
And you go, you're like, that's something they had together
Yep.
as a thing.
They
Yeah.
knew
That's
that
where-
if
that's
they
where
ever got into it.
They
yeah.
bonded this together with, if we're going out, you're taking me out, and I'm
Yeah.
taking you
Yeah.
out. Like,
If we know that we're not making this is how this is going to end. And I love the fact that the Predator didn't kill them; they killed each other.
well, because he's not, and this is, once again, this
One of the
kinda-
reasons you dislike the film.
No, this kind of takes away from the entire thing. At the end, he's not hunting them for sport. He's only hunting one of them, and he's after the child.
Yeah.
Under the guise that autism is an evolution, which, by the way, autism has been around for a really, really long time, and presenting it as such just to drive a plot story is kind of insulting to a demographic of people.
Yeah.
So I disagreed with that. I understand the premise.
I started to disagree with it at first. Like when it first came up and I saw the whole school scene where he's being bullied by their kids.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh man, like I don't want this in my Predator movie. Like, get this crap out of here because I don't want it. I don't want to. First off, whenever it's kids, whenever kids are involved,
I know. Yeah.
That's like my no-goes.
Yeah.
Right. Like I don't ever want to see stuff bad happen to kids. I don't want to see kids picked on. I just that tugs at the heartstrings. So already I'm like, man, I really just came here to see people die. Why do we got to bring kids into this? And so I started to get a little bit irritated by that. But as it kind of developed, I was like, okay, I see what they're doing. Mm-hmm. They're trying to what did Ben Affleck do a couple of years ago? The Accountant, I think, is what it was, where he was on the spectrum as well. But he was like the most dangerous person to ever be on the spectrum. And they started making this kid the same way, where it was like, no, he's on the spectrum, and that's fine. But he's also, his brain's working on such a level that I was like, okay.
They almost make him a superhero.
They kind of do.
Autism is now a superpower.
However, I will. But you know what? To be fair, like you can't sit there and say
no,
that.
I'm not. Hold on. What I'm saying. Now there may be a point to this where we're saying we put him on the spectrum, but it's not actually autism that he has.
No, it is. No, in the movie it's autism.
Well, it's portrayed. But what I'm saying, I know. But what I'm saying is, my wife works with people with autism and other conditions similar.
Right.
My point is what you could really read out of this is, yes, they're telling us that it's autism. They're saying that he has Asperger's, etc. But that what's really going on is because his brain's working in a very different way, we are perceiving it as autism.
And that's okay.
That's exactly what they say in the movie. Yeah. I mean, that is not even. You don't even have to say you could say that.
It's not
that's
even
what they say.
And they actually they bluntly say that.
Yeah.
They come out and say, "Oh no, this is the next step in evolution."
When they realize that he's going after them,
it's fine. I can even get past that. Right. I will say that this kid has the best line in the entire movie.
He really does.
And it's all.
Would you?
I'm gonna let you do that when he's talking and the main protagonist, which is
antagonist.
Sorry, played by Sterling K. Brown.
Beautiful job.
Really does.
Will Traeger
starts going. Maybe we can do this and this, and the kid just looks up at him and goes.
Sterling's like, you don't want any part of this. It's probably too big and bad for you because the kid at this point has already hacked the Predator's.
He hacked his arms, the technology, everything.
He hacked the entire technology, the gauntlet. He flew the ship, opened the door, everything. And so they see this as an opportunity, and so he's like, well, I don't think you could probably handle this. And the kid looks up at him and says, I can do reverse psychology too. Don't go fuck yourself.
Yeah, genius line. Our entire theater, all 20 of us, in our theater, we all busted out laughing.
Yeah, so
it's a genius line.
It was funny.
And the kid towards the, to me, ironically enough, that kid held that third act together.
He did.
I understand where you were going initially with the whole. You were kind of worried about the kid in the beginning. I was interested to see how it was going to develop, what they were going to do with it.
Yeah.
Once I realized he was autistic, I was like, okay, I see. I already know what's going to happen. You just know what's going to happen. But when they started developing this character, I thought it really added to the story overall.
Yeah.
It is something we've never seen in a Predator movie before, and it humanizes a lot of the cast.
No, it does.
Especially McKenna, because what else do you really got against him or for him other than he's just some badass Marine sniper?
Right. Which is something that they play up, and I think very, very well, is... Yes, the people who are doing the kind of job that he was doing, like the team from the original Predator, these are not normal. Yeah, these are
not normal people.
They're not normal people.
This is definitely Shane Black developing all of these characters. Shane Black's known for his character development,
and he did a great job of it. And I love the idea that he's basically doing the scene with his estranged ex-wife,
right? Yeah.
Who was love interest in Chuck?
Well, he's the estranged one.
Yeah, he's estranged from his family. So he's estranged from his family. But I love the fact that she even comes out and says, "Hey, he's a horrible husband.
But he's an
amazing."
soldier.
And that's the whole thing is, one does not always necessarily lead to the other. It's
No.
if you're a professional soldier and you're out there gone for that's hard on a family, and
he's
that's
not a bad person. He's just he shouldn't have a family.
His strengths lie in soldiering.
Yeah.
And he says that too. I mean, somewhere in there, he's like, I'm a soldier.
Yeah, and he's like, no.
And I think that in the fact that he could be, and the fact that he could be so straightforward about it and honest with himself about it, humanizes him even more.
Yeah, he's
Which
like,
is why he stays away from his family.
Like, I'm a terrible father.
Right. Yeah.
Like I love my son. And I think to even a greater understanding, he even loves his wife, his ex-wife.
Yeah.
It was like, I care very much. He goes, the whole point I left at one point in the movie, he goes, and the whole point that I was having stuff not come here was because your safety. I care about you guys so much. I don't need to be a part of your life. And unfortunately, I've already dragged you in just by being with you.
Right.
I want to leave.
She gets the gun down off the mantle and
Yeah.
swings
Yeah.
it. And it's all,
Like,
let's
go.
when she swings the barrel around and all the guys are like,
And I love the fact
Okay, I'm sorry. The kid actually had another great line in this. He had all the great lines in the film. It seemed like outside of
not all of them.
Okay, except for the one from
Thomas Jane.
No, the one about Thomas James' mother.
Oh, yeah.
What do you mean about the mother?
Where Keenan was talking about, he goes to the jokes. I'm not going to say it right now, but he's talking. He goes, hey, what's the difference between...
No, that's not...
Yeah.
That's,
Yeah.
No, that's not what I was talking about. I'm talking about when Olivia Munn is leaving the hotel room.
Okay. And
okay.
I wanna
And that
wait,
was an
because
homage
That is going to...
Back to the first.
Yes.
I know, but that's where I'm going to go because this is where I want to get into the whole
But
scenario.
the kid had the best lines. And again, the scene with the postman. By the way, the postman, who we've all seen before, is also the voice of Optimus Prime. In Beast Wars.
Yeah.
Back for some '90s kids.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Nerd
but
fact. Out of nowhere. Good nerd fact.
Thank you. Anyway, but the kid looks at him and says, he raps off his father. She goes, my father kills people, so you could be a mailman.
Yeah. After his dad's been like doing the whole, I don't know what your dad failed on his payments. He's doing this. I guess he's really kind of hit he's like, my dad's kills people for a living, so you can be a mailman.
And when they have it, and he sits there, and they're in the ship, this third act, and he's looking at the antagonist, and he was like, yeah, I'm just waiting for my dad to come because he's going to get me.
Yeah.
And he was like, your father just set off tripwires. He's a complete idiot. What kind of person?
What kind of sniper
sets off the?
One who's trying to cause it.
Oh my God, he's inside. And the kid's just like, told you.
Yeah.
And then again,
That may have been my favorite part. Is like because he realized he runs. Your father's to be in it. Oh, he's on the ship.
Yeah.
He goes, he's causing the distraction. He turns around, and there he is. He's invisible, takes out a couple of guys, knocks Sterling out.
And then turns around, and then he goes, he's all like, he goes, all right, no one else has to die, Dad. From this point on, no one else has to die. So, I mean, this movie's got these great one-liners, and it's not even one-liners. Here's the thing. One-liners are stuff that you throw out when you know your movie's dying.
Get to the chopper.
These are natural.
That wasn't a one-liner. That became a one-liner.
It becomes a one-liner because of that. But
that's a meme
these
at this
are
point.
actually. These are actually.
This is a well-written script.
This is how that character would actually respond.
Yeah.
He's not trying to be funny.
No,
like, that was the thing. It's not trying to be funny. It is funny.
And that's why it was good. I said, I acknowledge the fact that the script is really good, and there are great points about this movie.
Oh, there are amazing points about this movie.
Well, we've just been talking about.
So exactly.
You know?
So to get to so to go back to the Olivia Munn thing, I'm gonna
wait. Which part? What
You're talking about the hotel scene where they
the
dropped a callback to the first one.
So all right. So let's recap up to this point, right? So the Predator lands, kills Quinn's team. He escapes with some tech. He mails the tech home.
Quinn's the antagonist.
Sorry, Quinn is the sniper.
Yeah.
He's the
protagonist.
No, that's McKinnon.
Yeah, Quinn McKenna.
Oh, that's right. You're right. Sorry.
So he He mails the stuff to his P.O. box, which then it turns out that it's not paid for anymore, so it gets delivered to the home, and that's why his son gets all the stuff. CIA takes him and interrogates him and basically paints him as a crazy person. They're going to stick him in a loony bin with the rest of everybody, where he meets Thomas Jane and Key and everybody that we've just been talking about. They're shipping them off in the bus. The Predator wakes up downstairs. They've brought Olivia Munn in as a scientist because apparently she's on call for aliens, right? To come research this creature.
And if you want someone to come in and talk to you about aliens,
it should be Olivia Munn.
Yeah.
And by the way, Busey.
Yeah.
Busey's son.
Busey's son, and of course Busey from
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 the
Predator
second one.
2. Yeah.
And I love that he's in this one
Yeah.
in the scientific capacity. It was great.
As well,
that
yeah.
was fantastic.
And of course the callback to they have the helmets from the first
From the
two
first
Predators.
two. Yeah,
yeah.
they've got these.
Yeah.
They acknowledge the series. And
Yeah.
I love that. So, they come in, the Predator wakes up when the other Predator basically sets down. It breaks atmosphere or something, or is it when McKenna's son, when Rory turns on?
Yeah,
the
Rory.
tech?
Yeah, when he's messing with the tech.
So Rory
he's
messes with
turning
the
on
tech,
other,
turns on the stuff. Predator wakes up, has a great scene,
Oh yeah.
killing everybody in the room,
Yeah.
and Olivia Munn then, which is problem. She keeps up with him. He escapes and he goes running, and she runs with him the entire time.
Apparently knows exactly how to hold the gun while running. Can track him. I mean, it's
a little too fantastic.
I will grant the fact that she's smart.
It's a little too fantastic.
I will grant the fact that she could be quick.
Right.
But I'm not granting the fact that she knows exactly, okay, I'm picking up this gun because I know
Let's say this. She could be all the things that she did in this, but they never
They never
established how or why she would have known
all,
these
all
things.
we know is she's a scientist.
That's all we know.
Up until this point, she's a scientist.
She's on campus with a dog when they come meet her. She's sitting around
and it's
drinking
like
coffee.
a terrier.
Yeah,
like it's not even a vicious dog. It's like
No, it's just a normal dog.
Yeah,
It's
so
a normal dog.
There's no unfortunately there's no real character development
at this point.
with her.
No.
It starts to come a little bit later. You realize she's very smart. You realize that she is a scientist, but
the scene after she runs after the Predator, right,
and shoots herself in the foot with
Right.
a trank.
But that's
Which
that's
was
the
funny.
point. What I'm saying,
Yeah.
she jumps onto a moving bus and she
Yep.
stays on this bus. I'm like, okay, crazy. But then she falls and hits herself with the tranquilizer in her
Yep.
toe.
Yeah.
The acting of her foot falling asleep, and
Yeah.
then her going through the whole thing, and then them coming to rescue, which is where they throw in a line, right?
Right.
Get to the chopper.
They
Yeah.
get out of the bus. They look around for some way to get out of the situation they're in because the helicopters are landing. They're about to get recaptured. What they see a bunch of
And
motorcycle. They
exterminate.
they see a bunch of
Because they've-
motorcycles good grief, Trevante Rhodes is
Yeah.
all
He played-
Nebraska.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
goes,
Williams.
get to the chopper, and I was just like, oh, there it is. Okay, you did it. Good.
Okay, move on.
And
Yeah.
they do a little bit of that as they go. The next one is when she's all asleep, she's knocked out, and
Yeah.
they're like adorning the bed in the hotel room.
Because they want her to feel
They
comfortable.
want her to
when
feel
she wakes
comfortable
up.
because these
Yeah.
guys are, they're nuts at this
They
point.
mean no harm to her, and they
but
know
they're
that they can be scary.
and they're trying to
Yeah.
make her feel better. And so
Little cups of coffee,
so
little trinkets.
Boyd Holbrook, at Quinn McKenna's
Yeah.
like, guys, get away from her.
Leave her
You're going to
alone.
scare the crap out of her. She's going to wake up all these guys around her. And so they back up and they stand awkwardly at the foot, across the room. And she wakes up. She's like, what the hell? And then,
And to set up Thomas Jane's character, Thomas Jane, he has Tourette's.
he has developed Tourette's. Yes,
And
yes.
it's very...
pretty
first
severe.
off, Thomas Jane plays that part perfectly.
Oh, it was so good.
I mean, it looked...
He's got the twitches
Yeah.
and the ticks and everything.
Yeah, but he goes into lines, which is a callback to the first one.
Mm-hmm. Olivia Munn wakes up, says, I'm getting out of here, after they all have bets on when
Yeah.
she wakes up, what she's going to do.
Yeah.
I told you she'd go for the
The
gun,
gun.
man. I did it. $20. $20.
But everyone starts paying him.
Yeah,
and then
yeah,
she
yeah.
goes
I told
to
you
the
she'd
door,
pull the trigger.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, Thomas Jane's
And then-
Tourette's kick
Yeah.
in. And
Yeah, that's
says,
right. So McKenna and her are fighting
Yeah.
over the shotgun, and she finally pulls the trigger, and they go, oh!
They're like, I should have bet for
chick.
that too.
They're like,
you know?
he's like, I love this girl. I love this girl because she was gonna kill him to get away. That
It's
was-
all these
yeah.
moments, and it's great. Now, to this point, then all of a sudden,
She's gonna leave.
Thomas Jane says, and I'm not going to say it all, but he was like,
Eat your kitty cat.
"Eat your kitty cat," and she looks at him. She
It
goes,
stops everybody dead.
and
Yeah.
because and you know why he says it,
Like-
he still has a twitch.
And nobody, and
You know,
she doesn't know he
And
has
she
Tourette's.
she doesn't
he has
know.
got Tourette's.
Yeah.
They're all trying to cover for him.
Yeah.
Oh, he said, "Would you like some tea? Would you like some
Yeah.
what?" I mean, like they're
And she's like, no, he
trying to-
specifically said,
yeah,
eat my
she's like,
pussy.
yeah.
Cat. All right.
Way to go, jackass.
My bad. No, you do it. You know you want
So,
to.
no,
So
I
then
don't-
Fine,
she
back
goes,
your water.
and she's like, "Are you crazy? I mean, are you seriously
Seriously
crazy?"
crazy?
Like,
and Thomas Jane
he
is
can't
like,
help it.
He's generally like, I'm so sorry. Like
Yeah.
he's really sympathetic because
He knows he's got this.
He didn't. He really honestly.
but
didn't
that's
mean to say it.
and
But
that's
whole
the
point was,
disability. That's the disability.
It's a callback to the first movie where there was a joke
Gee,
made
she
by
got
that.
a big kitty cat. Gee, she got a big.
Now-
Why'd you say it twice?
My
Yeah.
my
I didn't.
my problem with that is this, and this is what I'm gonna tie back into. Olivia Munn had all these scenes that could be considered downgraded to women. She's got the typical nude scene where she's
cowering
in fear.
No.
I know, but hold on. She's got all of these things that she's saying, but then 2 weeks before the premiere, there is.
All right, hold on. I know you're going. No, I know but I need to stop you because you're wrong about the scenes. That was not. No. That was not. No.
Let me finish. Shut up.
But if you base it on the wrong presence,
I'm not. Shut up for a second. What I'm saying is, the thing that happened behind the scenes was that Shane Black always used to have a friend.
Yeah.
Probably still does.
Who would come in? He would give 15 seconds, 20 seconds screen time to. Comes out. This guy's a sex offender.
Registered sex offender.
Registered sex offender, which
from 10 years ago.
From 10 years ago.
Okay.
According to Shane Black, what he was told was, well, it was a misunderstanding. His friend got labeled that because that's what this guy's been telling him. So he believes in second chances, which this country no longer believes in.
Right.
That's a topic for anywhere else,
whatever.
not even for this show.
Right, of course.
But I get what Olivia Munn was saying with that. I have no problem with that. Where she came out and said, "That's crap. How could you have me do the scene
with him,
with someone that you didn't even tell?" And she's right.
She's right.
Let's get something straight. She is absolutely 100% right. She should know who she's working with. Everyone that's on that set knows who they're working with. There shouldn't be any surprises. So
especially not of that nature.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Especially not of that nature.
But at the same time, man, there's some stuff in the movie where I'm just like, I would have had a problem doing that too, though, if that was my character development. If it was my character development. That's the thing. I'm not saying right or wrong, because at the end of the day, what the argument will be is, but I knew going in the exact type of character development that I was going to be doing, and I agreed to that part.
Look, this is why you're wrong. Kids versus adults. She's an adult, and she's an actress, and she makes these decisions herself, right?
Right.
She's done a lot of other... She was topless in another movie.
Right.
I mean, she is an actress. She can make her own... She's an adult. She can make her own decisions to do whatever you would consider degrading to women in a particular scene, right?
Of course.
Working with somebody else who is a sex offender and not being told that you're working with a sex offender is what shocked her.
Right.
And that's the issue at hand.
Which is what I said.
Right. And but that's my point, is you can't build up this whole thing and then deliver a point and have all the other things you built it up with be not necessarily relevant to your point. I agree with your point. I do. Yeah. But don't base it on all the other stuff.
I love when he does that.
Yeah.
I love when he goes to the argument and goes, but I agree with what you're saying.
But don't base it on all these other things.
And again, all I'm saying is, for me, I was just a little bit like, eh. Now, that's minor. That did not detract from the movie from me.
No, not at all.
The other crap detracted from the movie.
Which we need to probably get into a little bit more in depth here, because we're about to run out of time. I did not think we'd be able to go the full hour on this movie.
Oh, I knew we would.
Yeah, I knew
we would.
I did not realize he was going to be this passionate about it. I will say this: I did like the fact that even though Olivia Munn, because I was expecting the whole thing, like, okay, so here's her nude scene.
I was glad they didn't do it.
That's what I'm saying.
I was really glad they didn't do it.
Again,
because
okay,
hold on.
It is a nude scene. They just don't show anything.
But that's
not a nude scene. Then
I know.
Okay,
she's nude.
Yeah, but there's a reason for it, and that's the thing.
I get it. There is a reason for it.
There's a reason for it. It moves the plot along, but we never actually see her nude, which I appreciate.
To elaborate, she has to go through a decon procedure.
Right.
You're getting decontaminated, so you don't have any of your bacteria screw up whatever, because they don't know anything.
Yeah,
it's a clean room.
Hey, Bobby, how does that work in prison?
Not too well, actually.
It's I think it's usually a fire hose with a handful of lye they throw in your face.
You get farva, you get a powdered sugar thrown on you.
So anyways, right? She's trying to escape to get out of the clean room, and the clean room automated won't let her leave
until she goes through
the decontamination process. When you use the phrase "she's got a nude scene," it makes people think, oh, she's got a scene where she takes stuff off.
It's not gratuitous.
You need to understand the context of the situation.
I get that.
They never show her nude.
No, you're right.
The most you get is a clavicle and shoulder blades.
No, that's a hot clavicle, though. Let's be honest.
Right now.
Which
those collarbones, whew.
Yeah. But anyways, it's not a nude scene, right?
I see some ankles.
These things you pointed out don't really exist. In the movie, they don't exist.
So and they actually do move the plot along.
They move the plot along.
I never said,
unlike Die Hard, where it's like there's just some chick.
Because what happens is when she is now cowering in fear, right?
First off, in Die Hard, You're telling me that's never happened at a Christmas party you've been at? That's more common than you think, my friend.
That's true. The cocaine. Whew.
No, the cocaine made sense.
So yeah, she's just cowering in fear. She's nude. The predator sees her and goes, "Well, I'm not going to kill you because you're defenseless," and he walks away. That's how the predators always are. And she now she understands more about the predator.
It does.
Yeah.
And it's a scene. It's necessary.
So what other complaints do we have?
Okay,
I think you saw this in your head going differently. Like, man, we're all going to love this movie. We all like the movie.
Yeah, we all.
But it does. I agree with Sean in the fact that
I had fun watching the movie.
This is not.
This
true
is not
Predator
a Predator movie. This is an abomination. Much like the Predator.
Much like the Predator that they fought.
Bigger, badder Predator that shows up in his dog.
Okay, let me defend.
Which, by the way, he shows up with dogs that have the same hair that he does. What the? Why? Why is this a thing?
Because I asked myself the same question
from Predators.
Which is where I'm about to go.
But hold on, okay. So, but I love the line.
Are they doing more hybrid crossbreeding with dogs now? I guess they are. He's got dog legs.
And I do love the fact that when they looked at it, they're like, "Why does a dog have braids?
Why does a dog have braids?"
Like even they were like, "Why does a dog have braids?"
Well, and then here's the thing. Even if you could argue that maybe they're from. They're from the same plant. Let's face, because they'd have a similar physiology. They don't have the predator mouth.
My pit bull does not have a goatee. Not that I know of.
Okay,
she's got a very distended bottom lip, but no goatee. The dogs shouldn't have the same hair. They did. That was like a production call or somebody who was like, it would be really cool.
And also,
I have a legitimate question.
Groomers on that planet? Like, do they have dog groomers? Maybe that's what we're missing.
I have a question for Mr. Predator here.
With the rings on them.
Okay, question though. Seriously, in the material that you have accumulated, do we know that the Predator dreads are actually dreads and not like an organ? Like, are they actually?
I don't think that's never really been addressed. It's always kind of just been looked at as their hair.
Yeah,
that's just what it's been looked at, to my knowledge. And there might be something in some of these in the mythos that I don't know about.
Because it always clearly it looks like hair. I've always thought of it as more like a thing that grows like a sensory organ, or an appendage, something like that. Not hair per se, but something else.
I don't know. Maybe it is, but I don't think anybody's necessily addressed it. If they have, it's something I don't know about.
Which is fine.
This planet's not populated by Jamaicans.
Predator World would be. 2. Yeah, that was Predator 2.
Oh, okay. There we go. I forgot about that.
Yeah, well played.
Jamaican.
And of course,
lords.
Yeah, the drug lords. Yeah. That's right.
Anyway, but okay.
King Willie.
I will. Again, as I stated, Predators was better, but I do like the fact that this does sort of explain Predators a lot more. Because what are we introduced in Predators, right?
Predators.
The first.
The Anatol versus the Rodriguez Anatol movie.
So that's not a reboot either, then.
That's not a reboot.
I know.
It's a
sequel.
They absolutely pay homage
to
the first two as well.
I know. Let's just stop. I like the fact that they set up this concept that there's smaller ones and bigger ones, and the smaller ones are the ones that we are familiar with.
Right.
Then there's this other class of larger predators. Right. Sometimes, and they even said that sometimes they hunt each other.
So,
and I think what Shane Black did is he took that concept and said, why would there be two different groups?
All right.
It seems like there's two different species. What's going on here? And I think what he's alluded to is that second taller species where they're using all these new, they got dogs and they have all these other things they're doing that are different from the traditional, predator that we're used to. Is saying they're evolving themselves. They're changing their tactics from, like you said, the traditional. I'm going to go out there. I'm going to be the best I can be.
You're right. You could play
this whole other philosophy.
You could play an evolutionary step. I get that.
You could play an evolutionary step off of this. I don't. The idea, once again, the idea behind genetics, and these guys are improving themselves via genetics, is where they took a misstep. If you have so much material in the comic books that you can pull from to make whatever you want, and they've done that. They have obviously done that. Aliens versus Predator, the first one. They basically pull a little. They pay homage to that one by having the lead female like ice. She's an ice explorer, right? She's the explorer that leads the team to this new site they found. Well, basically, I mean, that is pretty much, what was her name? That's Machiko Noguchi. She's the heroine in Aliens vs. Predator, the comics. At the end of that one, the Predator, who has shown up at this planet with his team of predators to drop off some aliens, impregnate all these things, and then go hunt them. They drop the alien eggs off. They show up. They made the realization that, oh, crap, there's humans on this. They've colonized the place. And then one of the predators is basically like, well, this isn't what we're here for. We need to get out of here. And the other guys are like, no, screw it. Let's hunt everybody. They divide. He goes with her and the humans and sides with them, and they go try to kill everybody. He ends up killing them, and she helps them kill everybody.
Yeah.
So by the end of the thing, just like in the movie, he takes the finger off of one and burns his clan symbol into her forehead.
Yeah.
So they pay homage to that. They've done this in these movies, right?
Yeah.
And albeit the movie came first.
Right.
The first one set the whole comic books into motion.
Yep.
But there's so much they could do more of than that. And speaking to the fact that there could be different, bigger, badder predators out there, right? To that idea, there's another one called Bad Blood.
Yeah. No. And again, I'm aware.
Which is a great art.
Which was a great. Yeah.
Which
Great
is
series.
where they have the predator who's gone rogue, who
Yes.
comes down to the earth to just go, you know what? Screw this. I'm killing everything for fun. He's basically a psychopath.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He shows up just to kill everyone and everything, and the other predators show up to hunt him.
Yeah.
This is a perfect possibility for this movie.
Exactly,
Instead,
and I agree
you
that
don't
would
have
have
to
been
have some giant, just artificially inflated bad guy in.
Right.
Oh, it's genetics.
Well, not only that.
Well, hold on.
it
And
was-
I think it's your point is well played because then you could actually have the predators teaming up with the humans and saying, "Look, we know we hunt you normally."
Oh, I already know how to fix. I already know how to fix this movie. We can leave this movie in. We can leave this movie in and move on to the next one and still fix it.
Okay.
Shoot.
Okay. You open with a team of predators landing in Saudi Arabia because we've never seen this before, right? In the movies, never happened. They're hunting the drug lord, whatever. They're showing up, and we can see some dialogue between them. There's one big bad one, and then there's 2 or 3 small ones because we know that they're not all fully evolved yet through the genetics because they're still working on it, right? They show up. The dialogue between them says, "We're here to collect whatever guy. He's the biggest baddest. Let's get his fluid, his spinal fluid. Get ready for some more experiments." They show up, they're killing some people, getting stuff done. You see some predator, the classic 3-dot triangles, show up on a couple of them and dispose of them. And you go through this scene seeing a few predators being eliminated by what appears to be another predator. At the very end of this scene, and you see that it's actually the predator killer suit, right? From the end of the first one.
Right.
From the end of this one. We'll get to that.
Yeah, we need to get to quickly.
Which then, gets into a fight with the last big bad one, and it damages a little part of the suit because it's got to be, it's a big bad predator. It's 11 feet tall, and I'm sure it's really hairy and horrible to fight against. Reveal. Mask comes off. It's Olivia Munn. It's not Boyd Holbrook. It's her in the suit now because Boyd is not part of the operation because of his family or his kid, whatever. He's out of it. And they find out a little bit later on, they go through this whole thing. Okay, well, we stopped them, but we couldn't save the ship. He kind of destroyed parts of it, so now we don't have another ship to go hunt them in space. We're still on the defensive here, waiting for them to show up and take these pieces as we kill them off. One lands, just a lone predator, regular one, shows up and basically has the opportunity to communicate with them and says, hey, look, it's actually these big bad ones that are the rogue ones. They're the ones trying to artificially inflate themselves and geneticize, through genetics to make themselves bigger, badder.
We've actually got a civil war going on our planet.
And then you've got the Civil War story out of the. Dude, there is so much they could do to fix this right now.
Copyright, Sean Walker.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Well, and
Fox, I'm sorry, Disney, pay attention.
But I think that's kind of what they were leading to is this idea that
they were very pointedly said it was Boyd that would be taken.
Well, no. What I'm saying is his broader point of there being a civil war between, not about the person in the suit. What I'm saying is
it is a civil war.
Right, is that there is a civil war going on.
But flip it so that the bad guys
are the ones
make it so that way you save the mythos of the predator up to this point.
I don't disagree. And for those of us, and again, just so we're all clear, and we're running out of time.
Dude.
If you say that one more time, I'm gonna hit you instead of you cussing. I'm gonna
all right. So basically, what happens through the movie is the big bad predator shows up, sicks the dogs on everybody, quite literally, and then they
lobotomize one of them.
Yeah.
They give the other regular predator back his armor. They kill him instantly, which I was like, bad move. At least have him around for a little while to try to fight off the other ones, right? And now we just got this bigger, badder predator hunting everybody else. They finally get out. They try to solve the problems by getting to the ship, and Traeger's there already, and
because the Predator at the end of the day is looking for the boy because they want to know what makes him tick.
And so he recognizes that Rory McKenna, who is Quinn's son, has been able to hack all the technology, and he goes, "Well, this is a trait we need to grab. This is bigger, better, smarter, right?" So under the guise of I'm going to hunt, he says, McKenna is going to be your leader. Everybody thinks that we're going to run and they're going after Quinn because he's the main character. Now it turns out they're actually hunting Rory. Predator kills a bunch of them off. Traeger blows his own head off,
which is
funny.
Freaking hilarious. He's got the shoulder cannon, right?
Yeah.
Looks left, the shoulder cannon looks, he fires and his head explodes.
Yes.
You got to be smarter than what you're working with. And then, so what? At the very end, they managed to they kill the Predator. Olivia Munn and Boyd Holbrook kill the Predator. They save the day. They seem to have some random freaking farewell for everybody with trinkets that apparently they've been collecting from all of their dead comrades who are scattered all over the freaking jungle.
That was forced. Yeah, it was like, you know what we should do? We should pay
homage to everybody
instead of just saying, "I'm gonna miss those guys."
Who collected a Hawaiian doll? Why? I think it's funny that Olivia Munn throws in the little unicorn that he made tinfoil.
Yeah.
That makes sense that she was like randomly took that. But they never lead up to the rest. They're like, here's his cigarettes. When did he, hey man, in case you die, give me some stuff so I can remember you. I didn't see that part in the entire movie.
I mean, unless we missed a scene where he's going back and collecting stuff from them.
While they're traipsing across the entire expanse of the jungle on a spaceship going hundreds of miles an hour. Sorry. I digress. Right, so the next scene is Quinn exonerated, full military, going back into.
He now leads
the program, right? And they have captured the weapon that the original Predator who touched down was giving.
Yeah, that was the whole point, was to bring us this thing
to basically help stop the Predators from killing us and colonizing our world under the guise that it's going to get too hot in a couple of years.
Yeah,
that was my number one.
So climate control BS that was in there.
So then we have the Predator, the Predator. The translation of Predator Killer is what they can basically discern that this thing is.
Well, the boy does it.
The pod pops up, opens up. They're like, "Oh God, what's happening?" There's a little tense moment. This thing hovers up, and they're like, "Well, we don't know what it is." It shoots off, attaches to one of the scientists'
and Iron
arms.
Man's onto the guy.
War Machine
shows up.
And it looks like some 12-year-old's idea of what a predator should look. He drew it in social studies. Wouldn't this be sweet? Wouldn't this be awesome? He sat there and was like, "Oh, it's got 12 guns and the arms and the
What would happen if Tony Stark made an Iron Man suit for the Predator?
Is this what I sound like with Batman?
Yes.
Okay.
Every day.
It's crap. I'm sorry. I initially was like, whoa, and then I went, wait a minute, whoa, hold on. Like my first was whoa because of the shock factor, and then I was like, whoa, we gotta.
Yeah. Whoa.
So much like
that's my new suit.
So much like the DC universe. We figure out how to save this one too.
Yes, we did. Yes.
And the Ghostbuster universe.
Yes, we did.
Saving movie universes one day at a time.
Ultimately, it's a fun movie to watch.
It is a fun movie. It is a fun movie to watch.
I'm
but
pissed
it is inferior.
That they did what they did to it.
It is an acceptable side step for the.
It's better than Aliens versus Predator 2.
Yeah, Requiem.
Which is about as far as I can go with it.
Requiem. Yeah. This goes behind Alien versus Predator, the first one. It's definitely for me. It's the first Predator, Predators, Predator 2, and then this one.
Okay, fair enough.
Okay, I can live with that.
All right, so there we go. There's Predator.
There you go. And how to fix it. Yeah.
And ruin for all of us.
Jason, man, close us out, man.
All right. Do we know what we're doing next episode?
We have no clue. We will let you fine folks know. Because, quite frankly, we don't.
We don't. We have no clue.
I think it actually may be Venom, but we'll talk about it.
We'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens.
Could be Venom. Could be Venom.
So,
could be Venom.
Until then, go vote on your favorite comic strip, and we'll see y'all in 2 weeks. Like, follow, and subscribe on, of course, Facebook, YouTube, and if you need to get a hold of us for some reason, like you want to give us giant piles of money, vagabondnerds@gmail.com. We'll see y'all later.
Y'all have a good weekend.
Thanks, guys.